All right, now the last ones we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to solving some equations, logarithmic equations. This is gonna be covering 7 through 9, problems 7 through 9. So you're gonna solve for x. And I'm gonna remind you that in lesson 4, we solved equations in that one as well. So if you remember lesson 4, 7-4, we learned that if we have it in remember we talked about logarithmic form. If we have it in log of base b of x equals y, that's in log form. We can convert that to exponential form. B is your base, y becomes your exponent, equals x. And then you can solve for x once you have it in that form. So that's what we're gonna do on these. These are gonna be the same as what we did in lesson 7-4. They're just gonna be a little bit bigger, a little bit more difficult. So let's go over here. Here's our first one. Log of base 5 and then negative 2x plus 10 equals 2. And see, it's a little bit more going on than what we saw in the last lesson, but you're gonna do it the same way. So look at this to follow how to go from logarithmic form to exponential form. So you start with your base, which is your b, which is this number right here. That goes there. That's your base. Then your y, which is what's equal out here, that's your exponent. And then this, what's in parentheses, is now, that's your x. So that goes on this side. So negative 2x plus 10. And so now that's an equation we can solve using all the things we've learned forever about solving equations. So we're going to do 5 to the second power, which is 25. And then you're going to subtract 10 from both sides. That's going to be, 15. And then last thing you're going to do is divide by negative 2. X equals negative 15 over 2, and you can leave it like that. You don't have to make it a decimal. You don't have to make it a mixed number. You can put it in just like that. All right, we're going to do one more of those. So this one's going to look like this. So you're still solving for x. So 6 plus log of base 3 with base 3 of negative 4x equals 9. Okay, now, what you gotta remember is all your little rules of solving equations still apply. So you have this constant out here that's not with the log form here. So then you have your constant over here. So wouldn't you think you probably need to get those together? That's what you do. You get your constants together. So now we've got log base 3 of negative 4x equals, and that's gonna be 3. Now it looks like it should. So now remember what we do. We take our base, which is the 3. We take our number that's on the other side, which is our y. That's your exponent. And then in here, this is your x. You set it equal to that. And now we can solve it. So now you go 3 to the third. 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3, 27. Equals negative 4x. And then now we divide by negative 4. And x equals negative 27 over 4. And again, you do not have to make it a decimal. You don't have to make it a mixed number. You can put it in just like that. And that is some more on solving logarithmic equations. And that concludes your lesson 7-5.